Welcome to Hoochos. So today I'm just going to do a little bit of harvesting. I'm not really going to make anything. It's just going to be a video about maintenance on the NFT system. So hope you enjoy it. So what I'm dealing with in the NFT system at the moment is a similar situation to when I had the pumpkins in the system. The sheer area that is transpiring because of the amount of greenery in the system and evaporation through transpiration causes the level to go down and the nutrients to concentrate in the system. So now I'm going to top the reservoir up in nutrients and water, and then I'll do some harvesting. So I'm not sure how well you can see over there, but the reservoir is now at 100 litres, and I'm going to fill it up to 400 litres, which means I need 300 litres worth of hydroponic nutrient. If we measure the EC, it's at about 2.8 to 3.2, which is acceptable. So I'm happy to just add in hydroponic nutrient and the ratio of water that goes with that nutrient without diluting the nutrient solution that's already in there. So all I do to add hydroponic nutrient is measure out the correct amount on some scales. So for my specific brand, it's 120 grams of nutrient and trace elements and 80 grams of calcium per 100 liters of water. Now, I'm not going to add this in while the reservoir's low. I'm going to fill up the reservoir first and then add it in once I've got the 300 liters already in there, because if it's added whilst it's this low and I've got the pump running, it may pump excess nutrients through the system, and also the nutrients won't dissolve in solution, and they can cake together. So I tend to find that I only really need to check the reservoir for the hydroponics twice a week. And when it's got this much green matter in it, I usually have to top it up at least once a week, and add nutrients probably every 2 weeks. So that really means that you only have to change the reservoir once a month and top up the nutrients in that reservoir once. As the plants get larger, you will find yourself having to top up the reservoir more often. But with a reservoir this size, I've gone for 2 weeks without touching it and not having to even add water. The more productive your system, the more it will turn over nutrients and water. So it's not a bad thing having to change the reservoir more often. So while we're waiting for the reservoir to fill up, let's do some harvesting. So as you can see in the foreground there, a lot of my bok choy have been getting hit by caterpillars, and they've actually ruined a fair bit of my harvest. So I'm just going to be removing them, as well as being good fodder for the chickens. I just want to remove any vector for the spread of the caterpillar. So let's go ahead and harvest the bok choy. Little buggers. So I'm going to be quite honest, that's a little disappointing. They're pretty much 90% of the crop is insect damage. So I'm going to feed this to the chickens. I've got a couple left in there that are fit to eat, and realistically, I mean, you could probably eat this. It's just, I've got so much of it. So, it's the chicken's lucky day. So one of the things in the system that has been really rewarding is the eggplants. They just keep on giving, like more and more eggplants keep forming, and they handle the NFT really well. The roots aren't too big, and they just hang over the edge of the system. And I found that tomatoes are doing the same. I haven't grown larger tomatoes in the system until now, and they're just rambling, falling or cascading over the NFT rails, and they are staying in with the pucks really well. So I'll have a good tomato crop very soon. Anyway, let's get to harvesting. Look at that. Not bad. I'm actually really happy with that harvest. And there's still heaps more on the bushes that I've decided to leave on there to let get bigger. So now that the reservoir is full, I can go and add the hydroponic nutrient, mix it up, and she's right for another 2 weeks. So I hope you enjoyed this episode of Hoochos. It was just a short format update video, and if you want to see more updates, let me know in the comments below if you like this kind of video. Other than that, we'll be harvesting tomatoes in a couple of weeks. Fantastic. Ooh, what is that? There's like a whole ecosystem here. It's mostly tomatoes though. I don't know. I went overboard with the tomatoes. And I mean, there's tomatoes in my soil garden as well. I'm just going to have so many tomatoes. Like and subscribe to Hoochos.